All right, so there's no secret by now that to lose body fat, you've got to be in a calorie deficit. So whether you choose to do that by decreasing the amount of food that you eat or increasing the amount of energy that you expend through exercise, or a combination of both, we have to try and work out the numbers and find out exactly how much of a deficit we need to be in order to lose weight across the board. So if we look at half a kilo of body fat or a pound of body fat, we roughly need to have about 3,500 calories to do so based on the law of energetics. So if we look at 3,500 calories and divide that by a week or 7 days, we're looking at roughly a 500 calorie deficit to get there. And obviously 1 kilo is going to be around about double that. So in order for you to lose half a kilo of body fat per week, you need to be in a deficit of 500 calories per day, like I mentioned, using either decrease in intake or increase expenditure or a combination of both. So it's actually quite a large number for a lot of people. So when you're setting your goals, what you've got to focus on is this realistic based on the size you are currently, and is it sustainable long term? For a smaller person, they might want to look at maybe reducing that to maybe 200 calorie deficit per day and just taking a little bit longer to get to where they want to be. If we rush this and we go for the standard 1 kilo of body fat per week, most people have a wedding coming up in 6 weeks and want to lose 6 kilos of body fat. What we find is that we're going to start decreasing the amount of muscle mass as well as the amount of fat mass that we have. So we start to see fat mass go down, but we also lose just the same amount of muscle mass as we did the fat mass. What happens then is the wedding finishes, we go back to eating how we were, we start stacking on 500 calories surplus per day, and we find ourselves getting back to our starting weight. The worst part about getting back to your starting weight is that now you don't have the muscle mass. You've just put on all that gap that you created with fat mass, so now your proportions are out of whack. So this is why we recommend figuring out how much weight you do want to lose per week, and then figuring out the amount of calories in a deficit you need to hit per day or per week so you can get there sustainably.